If you want to become successful, you got to be able to count the cost. I'm Uzziah, your success consultant. I'm an entrepreneur, best-selling author, real estate investor, and my goal is to help you become as successful as possible. So I want you to listen to the importance of counting the cost and having forward thinking when it comes to achieving success and getting major results. I want to share with you guys 3 points that you need to focus on if you're really trying to get to the next level in your life. Most people, when they're seeking out to accomplish something, they might have a big wish, a big dream. Everybody has ambitions and aspirations. But what a lot of people don't do is count the cost. Now, I don't know where you're at in the world. I'm not sure what type of values and what type of beliefs that you actually believe in, but I always go back to the very wise story that Jesus said about counting the cost to see if you were fit to be able to build the tower. What he was trying to explain to us was you just can't go into something all willy-nilly. You might have a dream to be able to start a business. You might have a dream to be able to make a lot of money. You may have a dream to write a book. There might be so many incredible things that you set out to do in your life, but if you don't know how to get started, if you don't know what it takes, if you don't know the sacrifices, there's no way that is going to happen. I remember when I was growing up in South Central LA, I knew that I wanted to accomplish something great, but I didn't know where to get started. I didn't know step one. And in not having mentors that could show me how to be able to do the things that I specifically wanted to do in my life, I was at a disadvantage because I didn't know all of the steps that went into doing what I needed to do. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you want to be successful, the first thing that you need to do is begin with the end in mind. A lot of you guys have probably heard of the best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, share it with you guys. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. When you read in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the second habit that you read about in this classic book is that you have to begin with the end in mind. So there's a lot of titles for this out in society. Some people call it having a vision. Some people call it reverse engineering. Some people call it counting the cost. You got to be able to know what the end looks like before you begin. So let's say that you want to be able to start a business. Everybody might have an idea of what it is that they want to be able to do, right? Like you may want to start a restaurant. You may want to be able to start a nonprofit. You may want to start another organization. You may want to have a franchise. But what does the end look like? Because if you don't know what the end looks like, how are you ever going to actually connect the dots to get you to where you want to get? There's so many people that could start up a business not really knowing where they want to go. They just know that they want to be able to do something. And there's going to be so much wasted time and wasted effort just doing things for the hell of it that you don't even recognize where this is taking you. You're just going along the ride, right? Would you go to an airport and just hop on any plane that's taking off wherever it's going to go? No. Are you going to hop in a car and just drive and drive and drive with no destination in sight? Absolutely not. Right? When you hop into the car, you're going to go with a GPS. If you're going to get on an airplane, you're going to go on a specific flight. You're going to book your ticket so that way you can go to a set destination. So that's what you have to do if you want to be successful. You have to set your destination before you even get started. You have to begin with the end in mind. The second thing that I want to share with you, you have to have checkpoints. You got to have checkpoints because you need to be able to monitor how things are going for you along the way. So again, I'm going to give you guys another example. Let's say that you want to be able to pay off a lot of debt. For some of you guys that know me from prior videos and prior YouTube channels, I was the guy that paid off $95,000 in student loan debt within 2 years' time. How will you ever be able to pay off debt or maybe lose weight or whatever your goal may be, get a better job? How will you ever be able to accomplish that milestone if you're not actually monitoring your progress along the way? This is the reason why you have to be able to begin with the end in mind. And this is the reason why mapping things out are so important, because every goal that you have has to have a deadline. And if you don't have checkpoints along the way to actually understand how you're doing in comparison to reaching that deadline, how are you ever going to hit it? If you say to yourself, I want to be able to lose 30 pounds in 3 months, are you going to lose all 30 pounds a week before the deadline? Absolutely not. It's going to be something that's systematic. It's going to be something that's continual. It's going to be a process that's going to happen for you day by day. So if you're never stepping on a scale from now until 3 months to now, and you're just guessing it, you're just winging it, you're just hoping to just show up 3 months from now, I'm going to hop on the scale and then see. Until then, I'm just going into it blindly. How are you ever actually going to be able to reach that specific goal of losing 30 pounds? You're not even going to know that you've even lost 30 pounds until you've actually looked at the numbers on the scale. When you look at the numbers, it's going to be able to tell you how far you're going. You got to be able to have a checkpoint. You've got to be able to have the numbers. You got to be able to have a system in place where you can say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to check the results. And I'm going to check the results after that, and after that, and after that on a consistent basis. If you're not checking on a consistent basis, you know one thing that's going to happen? You're going to go down so far down the rabbit hole, and so much time is going to pass, because time doesn't wait for no man. You're going to let so much time pass you by, not checking at all, that you're not going to recognize that you weren't actually meeting the day-to-day small goals to help you reach a larger milestone. Because that's what success is really at the end of the day, is just small daily goals accomplished well that leads to big results. Small daily goals accomplished well that leads to big results. There's so many people that think that success is just like this one-time thing, this one-time event. You know, you just go to sleep and then you wake up and then bam, look at me, I'm successful. It don't work like that. When you see someone that is successful, they have been working toward that success every single day in very small steps. They've been chipping away at their success. They've been chipping away at their flaws, at their shortcomings, at their challenges. They've been honing their craft every single day to be able to get themselves to a place where you look and then 5 years from now, wow, look at this person, they're so successful. You look at this person 10 years from now, wow, look at this person, they're so successful. And everybody is so into this mindset that you have this overnight success, not knowing that all overnight successes were working 10 to 15 years in the background to actually get to a place of real substantial victory. You got to be able to count the costs, man, because if you don't do that, you're never going to know how far you can really go. Third and final point, you need to understand that you're going to have to make sacrifices up front. When you're counting the cost, you're sitting down and counting the cost because you need to understand whether or not you have what it takes to actually get to where you want to get. Imagine you're trying to go on a road trip and you don't have enough gas in a car to take you around the street. Are you going to ever be able to get to another state? Are you ever going to be able to travel from one side of the U.S. to the other? Not with no gas. So you got to make sure that you have all of the right equipment and the right resources in place to help you make that journey. And if you don't have those things in place, that's the reason why you have to count the cost, because you need to figure out how to go get it. Don't get in the middle of the highway and then be like, oh, damn, I never checked the gas. I didn't realize I did not have the fuel that it takes to go the distance. You can figure that out while you're still in the parking lot at home. You can figure that out while you're still in the driveway. Don't allow yourself to go midway through a goal, never actually accounting for all of the steps that went into it. When you look at successful people, they have goals. They're deliberate. Success does not happen by accident. So when you're looking at people with world-class results, they are so critically focused on what goes into it before they even get started, and they already know that there's sacrifices that they have to make. If you want to lose weight, you know that there's sacrifices that you have to make. If you want to start a business, you're going to have to sacrifice things. You may have to sacrifice your time. That's something that you will have to do. No doubt about it. You're going to have to sacrifice your money. You can't spend money all frivolous and all over the place like everybody else. You got to be more focused. When other people are working on doing other things, or they're out partying, they're out joking, they're out doing this, that, and the third, gossiping, whatever, you're going to have to pass on those opportunities so that way you can focus on seizing the moment at hand. You've got to be able to make those sacrifices up front, because you cannot have your cake and eat it too. If you think that you're about to be successful by doing everything that you've been doing up to this point, not getting the results that you want, and still be accomplished at the end of the day, you got another thing coming. You still in la la land. You still in dream world. Life is still a fairy tale. If you want to be successful, you have to count the cost, so that way you can understand what sacrifices must be made up front. So I want you to leave me a comment to this video. I want you to let me know exactly what you want to accomplish, and I want you to count the cost. I want you to actually take the time to think about what you're going to do to change the game in your life. Maybe you're going to become a musician. Maybe you're going to start your very first, landscaping business, construction business. Maybe you're going to apply for a better job, making the type of money that you've never made before in your life. Whatever aspiration and goal that you set out to accomplish, I want you to take the time right now to count the cost if you're serious about getting started. So leave me a comment and let me know I'm ready to count the costs. Let me know what you want to accomplish, what your goal is, what your dream is, what the aspiration is, and let me know what type of thinking that went into that goal to help make you as successful as possible. Leave me that comment, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video.